Good afternoon. My name is Arran Hunt. I'm a partner here at Stace Hammond and I head up the Migration Partners team here. Now, I was looking at doing a video today anyway. I've got a script here on one of my screens, but then we got an email from immigration which was just too important to put off. First thing though, of course, one of my juniors said this to me, make sure that you do like this video. It does help us get the word out there. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you tick that bell notification so you know when we've got new videos out there, which we are doing on a more regular basis, especially in the crazy times we're living in. So yes, I was going to do a video today. I have some amazing news about the skilled migrant EOI draws, something that I've got from someone at immigration. We'll come to that actually at the end, I think, because this right now just came through at 3:49 p.m. So about half an hour ago. I've been on the phone to a few clients, let them know, and now I'm going to try and get the message out to all of you. We've got 3 bits of news that have come through from immigration today, so I'm going to read it off the email as I go through it with you. So I haven't drafted a script here, it is just what I'm reading. I've been through it with my staff and now I'm going to come with a few other clients and now I'm going to talk to you about it with you. First thing is that all employer-assisted temporary work visas for people who are in New Zealand and those whose visas are due to expire before the end of 2020 get a 6-month extension. So already we had visas that were due to expire before 9th of July, which is in 2 days' time, were being extended out to September 25. So that was already took place many months ago. And Immigration New Zealand realised that there is still a big backlog there and there's a lot of employers who need their staff. So everybody who has a work visa due to expire in 2020 now gets 6 months additional time on that visa. So for a client who might have a visa expiring in August, you're looking through at February. Someone who's due to expire in October, you're looking through extending it through to April 2021. What isn't mentioned here is those who have extended to 25th of September, when they get 6 months from that date or from the date their visa was supposed to expire. So we will get that confirmation. So those who are due to expire, say yesterday, had extended to September 25th, and we're thinking, well, 6 months on top of that will basically put out to March 25th, rather than in 6 months from 2 days ago. So we're going to confirm that with immigration, and we'll let you know in a future video. So that's the first big bit of news. So that was good news. Now some not so good news. So those who are on a temporary work visa, and they need to apply for another one now. This is good news as well, actually. So we had the situation where those who were on the lower skilled, the 1 year work visas, the maximum of 3 work visas before they had to leave the country for a year. And there was a stand down period. Now, to align with the 6-month extension, which they're giving to employer-assisted temporary work visa holders, they are delaying the introduction of that 12-month stand-down period for those lower paid workers. So that's another great thing. So if you do have that, if you're on your 3rd 1 year work visa in a row, and you're worried about at the end you're meeting that 3 by 1 year requirement to leave the country for a year, they're giving you an extra 6 months on that to match with that extra 6 months of visa. Well, they're giving you enough extra time on that visa to, the 6 months. So you'll still have to have that requirement to leave the country at the end of that 6 months additional time, unless you can, of course, go for a higher skilled job, which is, hopefully a possibility. Third change, this is another big one and a one that's not so good for some clients, is that those going for that lower skilled work visa, that 1 year work visa, that 1 year work visa for applications lodged 10th of July, that is in 3 days from now, today's the 7th of July, Tuesday, so applications lodged from this Friday will only be eligible for a 6-month work visa, so just 6 months. Which is, for a lot of clients, is not a good thing. Now that requirement will be in place. I've checked the new rules, I've checked the new operational manual instructions, and that will be in place for the next year and a half. So from now till January 2022, any applications for that lower skilled job low skilled job, the work visas for the lower skilled jobs will only be a 6-month work visa, not the 1-year work visa you get currently. Now that is, of course, a major issue. Now the fourth thing to announce is that, of course, we've talked previously about the removal of ANZSCO from applications. ANZSCO is this horrible system of matching your work visa, your role, to one of the sort of predefined job types. If you do this job, this is what you must do as this role. If you don't, then you're not actually doing that job. It was old-fashioned. It didn't quite match modern employment. That will no longer be used to determine whether a job is considered higher or lower paid. Instead, they're going to be looking at a simple remuneration threshold. So basically, those which are below the median wage, which is about $21.50 per hour, around there, will need to still provide the skills match report from the Ministry of Social Development, from Work and Income New Zealand. Those who are above it will not. Now, the duration of the visa will also depend on whether the individual will be paid above or below the national median wage. So what we're getting from that is not written down in the exact wording yet. We're looking at, so those paid below that $21.50 or so an hour will probably get a 6-month visa now rather than a 1-year visa as they would have got previously. Those above, we're assuming will get a 3-year visa. I'm not sure whether they're going to have still have that 5-year work visa for the really highest paid. We'll have to wait and see, but that median salary level is going to be very, very important. I'm glad to see ANZSCO going, but now it's going to be very important as to what you're actually earning. So now these new visas, this what they're calling the temporary work visa, which I think is just a simple, great name. This replaces essential skills work visa, it replaces work to residence work visa, replaces special and skilled work visas for China, Indonesia, South Korea, Philippines and Vietnam, replaces special category work visas for Japanese interpreters and Thai chefs, and replaces work visas granted under Section 61 that specify an employer. So it basically replaces all of the work visas that state the employer's name on the visa. Otherwise, nothing else is changing. Still, at least 30 hours a week to be considered full time, which is great. Now, the other bit of news I was just going to mention today, we were going to cover the basically upcoming changes to the work visa with that 9th of July cut-off they had on the original extension. But of course, this extension basically means that my script over here I've written is now null and void because it's generally all been changed from this or been updated. What I don't mention though is that I have, dealing with immigration as much as I do, you sort of build a relationship with a lot of the staff there and you get along with them very well. Immigration New Zealand, I've said before, they are a fantastic bunch, they do amazing work. Very rarely do I have issues with them. Generally they have been just absolutely stellar to work with. And during that time you build relationships up and talking to them you often hear things, they're not always sort of intended to be dropped perhaps, or there's things you just sort of, that they say that you pick up on. And I've had one such thing recently, well actually a few things recently. I was talking to one of the staff there the other day and they were talking about basically branches being opened, what's being opened. So they're opening, you got Beijing's coming back soon, Apia's coming back reasonably shortly as well, if not already. They'll be looking at New Zealand-based applications rather than overseas ones. Of course, those have all stopped. We've covered this before in my previous videos. Go check them out. But the important thing that this person mentioned, and it was sort of this is a rumour inside immigration, but I kind of believe it, is in regards to the skilled migrant EOI draws. A question has been asked a number of times of me, Arran, when are these draws restarting? And we've always been saying, well, it could be soon, could be a while away. It's just, who knows with the current environment we're living in. The word from inside immigration that I've heard from a good source, I've known him for a few years, I talked to him a number of times, is that the draws will not start until after the election. So the election is 75 days from now. Let's just check that. NZ 2020 election. So 19 September. So 19 September, so just over 2 months from now is the election. The EOI draws will not begin before the election. That is the rumour we're getting from immigration, and I think that's probably going to be pretty true. With these changes, I can imagine the draws for the skilled migrant EOIs not beginning probably in time before then, possibly sometime after. If there's a change in government, then maybe sooner. If there isn't, then this could be a while until we get those draws started again, with the backlog there is. So that is what I've heard. When I hear more, I'll let you know. We'll do another video probably next week, unless we get more information through. If we do get through more details about the July 27th, the new temporary work visa, how it's going to work, I'll do a video on that. But for now, this has been a lot of big news today. So any questions, please come ask us. Through YouTube, you can come to our website, migrationpartners.co.nz. And we'll see you next time. Remember to like, to subscribe, to click on the bell icon. Otherwise, kia kaha to you all out there. Stay strong. These have been some crazy times, and immigration is doing some massive changes. But hang in there and we'll get through it.